Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Catalyst webinar series presented by the Education Committee for the Southern California PGA. The Catalyst webinar series is a bi-weekly educational platform for creating success and change in your club and career. Very excited to have John Hakim on the webcast this morning. He is the CEO and founder of greenskeeper.org. We're all familiar with greenskeeper.org. Especially those of us on the resort and daily fee side. Greenskeeper.org is a website communication medium for reviews and feedback and up-to-date information on course conditions and pace of play and just overall experience of the golfer at every facility in Southern California. John started this in 2002, I believe, and it's been going strong for 20 years now. And we're excited to have him on the webcast. He had actually called me at South Hills Country Club to see if he could schedule a Monday golf outing. And in the process of working with him on that, I conned him into coming on to the Catalyst webinar series as a presenter. So we're very grateful to have you on, John. Of course, we've all known about greenskeeper.org all along and are excited for you to take us through its history and its services and where it's going in the future. Good morning.
Good morning, John. Thank you for the great intro. It's always an honor to speak with the golf industry. When I launched greenskeeper.org way back in 2002, dial-up days, I always wanted it to be a synergy between golfers and the golf course industry. You know, it wasn't a Yelp, there wasn't any of these review platforms out then, and I even put the rating system together with some superintendents and avid golfers. I just really had a lot of empathy for the industry. I knew that the health of the game isn't just contingent on golfer participation, but more so on the experience that the golf courses are providing. And so I really wanted this to be a great balance between the golf industry and the golfers. But let's just talk a little bit about Greenskeeper. I did get it started in 2002. I came up with the idea in 2000. I've been in the record promotion industry. And my golf day was Wednesday. And in those days, you had played the LA City courses. You had to call speed dial a million times. You got through, you got whatever tee time you could get. You showed up, you played. Nobody told you about maintenance or anything. There wasn't any information out there. And it got pretty frustrating showing up and playing aerated greens and things like that. And I thought to myself, even though I'm in the record industry, at heart, I'm an avid golfer, played high school golf, loved the game, and computer geek at the time, and still am. And, you know, I knew HTML code, and, maybe I can code something on my own. So anyway, I tried that, long story short, and couldn't pull it off. Started interviewing programmers. I just wanted a basic website. That's why I used the name Greenskeeper. Because that's what the core content was, just to help people know what the conditions were. And then I grabbed the trademark, know before you go. I thought that'd be cool, you know, as it relates to golf, got that registered, and came across a company after a long search, and they had a pre-community software. They already had a community software program, and that's when all the bells and whistles went off for me. The inspiration just bubbled through. I said, an online golf community, man, that is perfect. You know, golf is such a game of community. And for those of you that don't know, I also co-authored the book with Zeb Wellborn, The Social Golf Course. And Zeb is the primary author, but I contributed quite a lot to that. And one of the things was, you know, when we did the intro to that book, just the roots of golf and how it's a people game. It's a social game. You know, it's a game that has so much meaning. And so much of that's been getting lost over the years, especially over the 20 years that I got into it. So anyway, when I did get into it, one of the chapters in that book is called The Mulligan. And that mulligan basically says, golf course industry, you missed the e-commerce boom. Now it's time to really reconnect with your customers on deeper levels, build relationships online through social or whatever it might be, that translate into business and a sustainable business model that can weather the storm of the economies and different things and really just hit the roots of golfers. So what are the roots of golfers? Well, the root is, the core is the avid golfer. So let's just jump into that before I give the tour. Back in 2012, some of you are familiar with this study. It's called the Golf's Pyramid of Influence. Okay, and yes, things have changed a bit, but overall, you know, what you learn being in business for so long is technology changes, people don't. You know, people's interests pretty much stay consistent. What this is showing you is how important the avid golfer is. You know, that they play 28% of the rounds, but they spend over 70% of the money. They play over 70% of the rounds. I mean, these are the influencers of your business model, but these are the influencers of what is happening right now and spreading the word about our game that we love so much. You know, when people enjoy the game more and they're playing it a lot, you know, they're going to tell other people about it. And that's what really grows the game and keeps it healthy. There's so many initiatives out there to grow the game, but the truth is the more you enjoy something, the more you brag about it. These avid golfers, these people, these are the ones that we wear polos everywhere. We talk about golf all the time. We text each other about golf. We call each other about golf. Golf is just like our whole life. You know, these are your avid golfers. And these are the ones that are playing the majority of your rounds. So you can come back and look at this graph, but we're going to kind of move forward a little bit here. Back when I launched greenskeeper.org back in 2002, it was really a beta launch. It was kind of soft. I was doing my record promotion stuff. But when I really got serious, even more serious about it, I told myself, look, we need to ask golfers really what is most important to them. Because the mission of Greenskeeper, and it still is to this day, is to help golfers enjoy their golf experiences as much as possible. What is it that golfers enjoy most about playing? Well, when we did a survey of the avid golfers, we found this out. And this was over 1,000 golfers that we surveyed back in 2006, that what contributes most to a positive golf experience? It's the golf course, okay? And that might shock some people. I mean, yes, these are important determinants, who you played with and how you played, but it's the experience at the golf course, which is going to ultimately decide the health of our game and participation in our game. And you as PGA professionals, you are the biggest influence on the health of golf. The experience that you provide, the interactions, the relationships you build with the avid golfers and golfers in general, you know, what that entails, you know, the playing conditions, all of that. When people show up to the golf course, that's going to determine if they enjoy their experience or not, you know, by and large. So let's get just into the avid golfers on Greenskeeper, give you a little deep dive into that. So here's a little demographic breakdown that I did with Greenskeeper. We run this report once a month. I ran it back on the 10th. And you can see that the avid golfer is an older demographic now, by and large, who's playing the most golf. And you already know that from your customers coming in. But this is who Greenskeeper is. It's an older group of golfers. But boy, do they love it. And then primarily in Southern California, but we have members all over the country now. And even if they're not part of our community, they appreciate it a bunch. And they use it as a destination resource. Now we can jump into these breakdown of who Greenskeeper is, but you know, I can send anybody, and please, at any point during this presentation, I would love to hear any questions. And if you need clarification on anything, just let me know. There's a lot here to cover. I won't be able to cover it all. I'm glad to come back onto the show and even dive deeper into Greenskeeper. And I'm certainly glad to reply to any emails if you haven't had a chance to jot any of this information down. or call me personally, and I'd love to have a conversation with each and every one of you. But let's head over here to what golfers think of greenskeeper, especially the avid golfers. Now, back in 2015, I was starting to keep track of all these thank yous that I get and emails and stuff, and it just got overwhelming. I stopped. But back in 2015, you can see there are just so many here, people, endorsements of the site from the golfers themselves and how much they appreciate it. And I know it's tough to read these, through your computer and stuff, but I can send you a link to them and you can get even a better understanding of, how much this platform really means to people here, especially in Southern California where I started it. The thing about greenskeeper is that, it's always been a grind, okay, for me. I've been bootstrapping this from the beginning. It's never been a big money maker. It's a passion of mine. It's something that I want to leave behind, a legacy, and it's just the game I love more than anything. And so that's really the thrust behind greenskeeper. It's a culture built on gratitude. Whenever somebody posts a review or contributes back to the community, I'm the first person to thank them, and they feel that warmth and they want to give back. That's why when you read a review on greenskeeper, it's got so much more depth to it than a golf pass or a TripAdvisor, whatever it might be. Greenskeeper is your gold standard resource because greenskeeper is a community of golfers that care about each other, that know each other. We play outings together. There's a connectedness there, a sense of belonging, that then produces these reviews that are so authentic and so helpful. The site itself, you don't have to be a member of greenskeeper to consume the content. You can consume the content simply by browsing the website. When you join the website, that's when you get excited to be a part of it and give back. So let's jump into our tour here of greenskeeper. Whoops, hold on, sorry about that. We'll jump into the tour here about greenskeeper. And when you come to greenskeeper, here's your homepage, all right? And it's a lot of content. It's been molded by golfers over the years. It's not mobile friendly, costs a lot of money to do that. I'm still trying to save up money to do that. I launched an app that was pretty much a mistake because I didn't realize how massively expensive that was to update and maintain. So I've shut the app down for now, and I'm putting my resources into mobile friendly. But for now, this is the platform here. And let's take a little tour through this platform so that you understand what greenskeeper is. So you come to this homepage and it's everything that golfers want, everything that golfers use to help make a decision where they play. We've got outings, we've got, reviews and specials and book a tee time. Greenskeeper is not a wholesaler. Okay, it is not a wholesaler. Even though we have Golf Moose on here, they're a supporter of our platform. We publish their deals because the avid golfers want to see that, but we are not a wholesaler. There's no revenue share with this. But anyway, so when you come to greenskeeper, you'll land on the homepage, and as a golf course, you've probably been here before, but the first place you're probably going to go is the course finder, right? And then you're gonna pull up your golf course, and there's a lot of ways to search here with your course. Let me just go right here real quick here. Whoops, sorry. I just noticed. Anyway, I got a little confused here. Sorry, I thought I just saw John. I didn't see his image anymore. So let's just say we were to search. I want to play in Palm Springs, and I'm looking to decide where I want to play, or maybe I want to play in Los Angeles. See, I can pull up this, and it's going to pull up a list of our LA County golf courses. We have them all listed county by county. And what will happen is the golfer will browse through this, especially this time of year when we're doing our maintenance alerts and stuff like that, and look for the little indicators that indicate, is maintenance pending, is, major maintenance, minor maintenance and stuff. and just decide where they want to play, or just get an idea. So they'll browse through the platform, they'll browse through the list here, and decide. For example, here's Eldo. So they'll see Eldo, and they'll go ahead, El Dorado Park. They'll go ahead and maybe they'll click it, and they'll want to see, I like Eldo, but when did they aerate the greens? Oh, they just aerated the greens. Okay, well, maybe I want to pass on Eldo for now. But what you'll notice with the maintenance alerts is it's always very respectful. We always want you to call the golf course anyway. Despite that we called the golf course, or in so many cases, our site members have called the golf courses, because remember, we're a community here. We're all coming together. We all want each other to enjoy our experiences more and more. So what'll happen is, they'll check that, then they'll read some reviews. You'll notice how deeper the reviews are. They'll see a rating, and just go through the motions here. Let me just explain our rating system, because it is pretty deep. If I want to understand more about El Dorado Park, I can look at the playing conditions, which are 0 through 10 to the nearest 10th here, or 100th. Apologize for that. But anyway, I'll go to this ratings page right here. And this gives me even a deeper breakdown of how the conditions are. These numbers are solely condition ratings. You have your enjoyment, your challenge, the type of golfers that are playing, the service and the value, what people think of the course. If I want to get even deeper into it, I can go ahead and click the playing conditions details, and I can see really where the course strength is, and it's with the greens, right? So now you get a better idea of what you're going to experience. You're going to experience nice greens at Eldo. You're going to experience fairways in fair condition, rough, bunkers, what have you. It's a breakdown. And guess what? This is really what the avid golfer wants. They want more information than just a 5-star rating or a couple comments about a course. I mean, especially nowadays with how expensive it is just to travel and get to a golf course, with how expensive gas is, the how crowded a course is, which is great. It's great for the industry right now. But there's a lot of decision making going on, and people really want as much information as they can. But what they want it from most is their fellow peers that they can trust, right? So the rating system, and let me just go a little deeper, because this is the golf industry, so you can understand the rating system even better. We have a little link down here, and it shows you how this rating system is put together. Remember, I put this together with, and here it is, we tested it over 18 months. I put this together with superintendents and avid golfers interviewing before I even launched Greenskeeper. And what I found was greens were definitely the most important component. Fairways, the base number is 30%. The rough, the base number is 15%. The sand traps, the base, when I say base, is 7.5. The tee box is 7.5. Pace of play, and we put a little scale here together. So just to understand this even better, we found out that golf courses that are heavily bunkered, let's say an Oak Quarry or whatever it might be, where sand is a bigger factor in your playing experience, we had to create a formula that modifies the rating per course, where, as we learn more about the course, sand is worth a little bit more, and as a result, we're going to depreciate some of the weight on the fairways and the rough. But greens are always just so critical important. Now, why is this important? So one of the things with me, being that I've dedicated myself to this, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but yes, know before you go, our registered trademark, this is a creed that the community uses, and we stand by. So this is something that is so important to me, to be authentic and pass on accurate information. When I see these other platforms, like a Golf Pass or something that really are just trying to do it on mass sampling and might have interior motives of booking tee times, through their Golf Now platform, whatever it might be, I know they're not really making enough of an effort to create a rating system that is accurate. as possible. And what happens is you can't ask people just to give an arbitrary, well, what'd you think of this 1 through 10? Okay, because what'll happen is you'll get people that can't remember everything, or maybe don't really know how to rate a golf course. So what happens when you go to rate a golf course on greenskeeper.org, we'll head over to the homepage again. And okay, well, here's a new review on Spanish golf links. This is one of our GKers, Alex, but we're going to go ahead and just say we want to rate Spanish Bay golf links, right? I mean, it's a gorgeous course. I mean, photos are fantastic. But so we're at a golf course page right now. And if I wanted to rate this course, I'm going to click the review course. Now, what you're going to notice here is that this is going to bring golfers through the journey of rating a course, so they really understand. So you're going to have a weighted system here, like other greens. Let's say they're a 9. Well, this is Spanish Bay. It's going to be, the whole place is going to be beautiful. This is just an example. Then maybe I shouldn't have used Spanish Bay, but you know, fairways. Let's say the fairways weren't that good, you know, but somehow this is like in the golfer's mind that, oh, the fairways were terrible, that they were thin or something like that. And if they were just to arbitrarily throw a rating at it because the fairways frustrated them so much, they might like throw like a 3 or 4 and just be on with it, right? But no, we're not going to let them do that. They're going to have to rate each thing. So then it really takes them through the remembering their experience. Oh yeah, the greens were pretty nice. Yeah, the rough was nice. The sand was great. The tee box, I just didn't like the fairways. And next thing you know, something that could have been like a 3 or a 4 rating on Greenskeeper because somebody just arbitrarily threw something at the fairways. Now it's going to get a true rating of really what the conditions are, because that's the dedication, is to have an accurate platform. So you'll go through, you'll break it down, you'll go through here, you know, you enjoyed it, whatever, you know, the challenge, the customer service, was it worth the agree, whatever. I'm just filling these out. And then you'll go into a thing where somebody can submit the survey, or they can get more detailed about it. So we give them that option. So now you can say, well, how are the greens? Well, you know what? These terminologies were very well researched to try to help people, you know, understand what is it about the characteristics of greens. Well, these greens were smooth. This is Spanish, so fast, maybe medium to fast, and they probably are firm, whatever. So we're breaking down each one of these characteristics to even go further to help people inform each other through the rating system. But of course, there's nothing that's going to be more informative in this rating system than the actual reviews. So we're going to head over to the review page. So this is our main review page. And what you'll notice is, again, look at the depth of these reviews and how much people care about their fellow golfers, right? And it goes on, and you know, we're primarily in Southern California, but we, like I said, we have members all over the state. But this isn't just a review platform. We're very active at content management, and we've developed a community that cares about each other. So when they come to this platform, you know, they might say, well, who's this Alex guy? You know, he lives up in Monterey. I like his review, but I want to learn more about him. I'm going to go ahead and click this button right here that says, you know, read all my reviews. And then I'm going to get a little more, you know, deeper dive into Alex and where Alex plays and what he likes and stuff like that. And then I can even go further. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go to the Spanish Bay page again. And this review just came in. I'm going to go and click Alex's profile page. And so here's Alex, and here's his profile page. You can learn a little bit more about Alex and you know, how his game and whatever he's willing to contribute and give. And here's something just to stop for a second. This is where you want to begin if you want to build relationships with golfers on Greenskeeper. Now, this is an old profile page. And I don't know if any of you remember MySpace, but this is kind of modeled after MySpace in a way. But you would want to create a profile page on Greenskeeper, not with your golf course name, but who you are. And it's very easy to do. It's very easy to join Greenskeeper. And this is your starting point. This is where you would say, you know, I'm Mark Johnson, PGA, or whatever it might be. You find a screen name, or you just pick a cool screen name, and then when you come to your profile page, this is where you can just, you know, fill out your details. And I promise you, everybody's going to check your profile page, and if you start just to say simple things like, well, here, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's head back here. Like, thank you for your reviews and stuff. And I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute. But so we're back here at Alex, and let's say I work at Spanish Bay. And again, maybe not the best example, but let's just take this just because I'm here on this page. I'll read his review. I really like this review, and I want to thank Alex. Well, guess what? I logged into Greenskeeper. I'm a member of Greenskeeper. I have my profile page. So what I can do is I can just hit that little button there, and I can send Alex a little message. Just a simple message. Doesn't take barely any time, but hey, we thank you for coming out and play. My name's Mark. I'm the head pro over here, and I just want to say, I read your review, and thank you. You don't have to give them anything, comp rounds, all that stuff. And I mentioned this in the social golf course. Never give a golfer you don't need to give golfers anything. You just need to express your sincere thank you. And if there's a rant or a negative review or something, you just want to have a little conversation with them. You don't want to fall into the trap of like Yelp or something where you're fueling people to want to say negative things to try to get freebies out of you. No. You should never go that way. If somebody can't accept a simple thank you, something authentic, then that's maybe not the person you want to have a relationship with at your golf course. And one more thing I really need to note here, because I think it's a misconception. And with Greenskeeper, positive reviews are paid. The page views when there's a positive review is 10 times more than a negative review. And what that shows you is that when people use a resource, they are looking for a trusted positive review. They are looking to make a decision, a quick decision, on if they want to play somewhere or not. Before they're going to take a deal, people that really research where they want to play, before they're going to whatever it is, whatever other incentive there is, they want to know what they're getting into to begin with. Okay, so they are looking for positive reviews that they can trust, and that's one of the big reasons why Greenskeeper is so popular, is because this is a community that is truly trying to help each other and share these great experiences together. I'm really talking a lot here. If there's anybody that has any questions right now, I'm glad to answer them. John, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, John. In terms of reviews like this, when they are perhaps extremely opinionated on the negative side and don't really take into account all of the factors and don't possess really the most positive narrative, how does the operator or the golf course management go about combating negative reviews like that? What is your role in that process? And can you tell us a couple of stories?
Boy, that is a great question. That was factored in pretty much from the beginning of Greenskeeper. And Greenskeeper is a different platform than like some of these other review platforms. We have a community staff. We are dedicated to this know before you go. All right. If somebody's posting something, whether it's very extremely positive and just isn't accurate or extremely negative, we have a fun tool here that our community staff, who are golfers throughout the region that really know the courses in their area, we call them GK gurus. I can get into that in a little bit. But if I'm looking here, well, Alex is actually a guru. So, I mean, I'd never report Alex's review. Alex has the ability to report a review, but I would just hit this button right here. And I would look at this and I would say, okay, this is not an accurate review. I'm pulling it down. We will pull reviews down. If we feel they are grossly inaccurate, we will literally take them off. Your golf course will not have to be concerned about that and having to address that. So that issue doesn't come up much on Greenskeeper because because of that. But there are times when it does surface. And so when to have to deal with something like that, the best thing for the golf course to do is, like I just mentioned prior, is to have a membership on Greenskeeper or one of your pros and just reach out and say, I read your review, and we really don't agree with this. But again, I got to tell you, not only will, if I don't pull this review down, or someone on my community staff pulls this review down here on Greenskeeper, guess what? Here's your message box up here. You're going to all of a sudden see, wait, there's 2, 3, 4 messages up there. Why? Because it's golfers that are pretty pissed off that you would post a review on their platform that they care about that is inaccurate. And there's a huge self-policing role now on Greenskeeper where people just take so much pride in this platform. So I hope that answered your question. Now, what I wrote the chapter.
Well, how do you, John, not to interrupt you there, but how do you determine what's accurate when it comes to a personal review? And it's an open forum for them to be honest and to air their opinion. What are the determining factors on whether or not it's accurate or not?
Well, it can be pretty obvious when you have a large amount of sampling. A lot of these times, John, somebody will come in, they'll join the site for the first time, and they'll post a rant because they're just pissed off. And you can tell, if you do this long enough, who's being authentic and who's BSing and who's ranting and stuff. It's a skill. But in certain cases where that can't be determined, if what have you, then I will personally call a golf course and just ask them, hey, how are your so-and-so conditions and stuff? We will cross-check it with the golf course. I might send an email to a general manager or a director of golf, say, here, we just had this review on Greenskeeper. Can you help me out here? Is this accurate? Sometimes you'll have those issues where people are just ranting, or they got an argument in the pro shop. You can really see through it when you do this long enough. But, the problem is that takes up a lot of time. And most of these platforms, they're so skewed to the golfer in trying to create sampling and ratings. They just don't care enough to take the time to reach out to a golf course operator and discuss this with them. Greenskeeper gets over 100,000 visitors a month and close to 1 million page views. I know how influential this platform is, and how much it matters that we have accurate content. Did that help explain things?
Yes, indeed.
Is there any other questions? Does anybody have questions out there? I can move forward, but I love answering questions because I think that really helps me understand what matters most to those listening and in the golf industry. Tom, you got any questions? Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, there you go.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to get a little bit more into Greenskeeper because it isn't just a platform for reviews. It's a community, and it's people that share a lot of opinions with each other. We have a community page, and this is a really neat page. This is where we have our forum discussions. We talk about what you shoot. Here's a neat one that one of the members posts because, we're calling golf courses. Myself and my content manager, we're calling courses. We're just asking about aerations, when their maintenances are getting done. It's tough, really tough now to reach a golf course over the phone. I'm not a fan of easy links and the auto, and I understand the need for it, to help dissipate the call load and spend more attention with your customer that's right in front of you. But the truth is they do a terrible job at actually communicating maintenance and things like that. So anyway, just to get off that and into this, we have forum posts. So, the members are contributing, and I'm thanking them. But this is one of our forums. This is how we interact and engage. one of the reasons, but we have a great forum section that talks all kinds of discussions. We also have a thing here called Play Golf with GKers, where we have our own outings. Or we do have one coming up at Goose Creek this weekend that's sold out. We're super excited. Desert Willow, Valley High. I also do outings with Golf Moose on a strictly creating private golf experiences and helping not only golfers experience a country club for the first time, but also help the country club go ahead and advertise and market and meet and network with new potential members. But so we have these different components here that allow greenskeeper members to try to get together and play. We also have a meet and play section right there. I don't know if you can see my pointer. That also helps bring them together. Of course, they just interact and engage with each other privately on the platform and set up tee times and stuff. But here's the thing, another thing. When somebody plays golf with someone else, that's where even the deeper relationship is formed. So again, when you're reading these reviews, most of the time, there's a connection there. And that's why they're so accurate, because it's one thing to write a review and just know you're reaching maybe 1,000 people out there or whatever, and they might be taking it. But it's another thing to know you're writing a review and your friends reading it. Okay, big difference. So anyway, so here's our community page. Something I wanted to show you that really might surprise you is our map page. So where are greenskeeper members? You know what? They are all over the country. Okay. Now remember, they don't need to join Greenskeeper to consume content. They can just consume it, but they join anyway. A lot of these members, but mostly, boom, California, right? A lot of Canadians, mostly California. So when we scroll down here, if you ever want to know, well, who are the members of Greenskeeper? You saw the demographics, but let's just say you want to get a deeper dive into who they are in California. You come to this map page, you click this, and you can even get breakdowns here by zip code, which is super cool, and it just depends on what your thing is, but you can get a better look at who our members are and where they are from around the country. So we're going to go back to the community page here. Another really fun thing we call it our birdie chain battle. We have fun games. We really want to keep a light atmosphere. You'll notice there's hardly any, I guess that's kind of political, the Saudi League debate, but we really do not talk about anything on Greenskeeper except for golf. And if somebody brings up like a political thing, this is not Facebook, this is not these other platforms, man, we are going to keep this focused, and we're going to focus on the fun and the love for the game. So this is our community page. Let me go ahead and just, because I really would love if even right now, well, when you get a chance to get in front of a computer, I'm going to show you how easy it is to join Greenskeeper. I'm going to go ahead and log off, okay? And I'm going to head over to the homepage. So when you come to Greenskeeper and you're not logged in, here's your homepage, okay? There's a button right there. It's free to join, okay? You fill out this little form here, and this is old school, okay? And you immediately become a member. We don't do the email validations and things like that, because when you join Greenskeeper, you don't have to put in your real name and stuff like that. You earn your stripes through what you're contributing, giving back to the community. And if you're a spammer and you jump in here, boy, it won't be more than maybe 30 minutes before somebody pegs you, and we're going to boot you. We're going to ban your ISP. And you're going to find out how frustrating it is to try to post spam on this platform, because it's just such a tight-knit community. But anyway, so as you go, you fill out this information, and I want to just really point out something here. The default answers are at the minimum. So when you look at this statistic here, I'm going to pull this down a little bit. When you look at our demographics, like how much they're playing, their vacation plans, these are all proactive choices. Okay, so that makes sure that this information is as accurate as possible. People that just default join, a lot of people do that. So maybe even this information is even greater than it's indicated here. But that's a lot of golf. 41% of the members playing over 48 times a year, 4 times a month, basically. But anyway, so we go back to this page. I'm going to go back to the sign up. You fill it out. You click here. You click sign up. You're in. Okay. And then once you're in, you get your login and stuff. And then, you just go from there and experience the page how you want. So let me just log in real quick here and kind of show you what happens when you log in, because there's another really neat thing about Greenskeeper that I want you to be aware of. I'm joining here. I'm logging in. And the first place I'm going to land on, whoops. Okay, let me try that again. Typing a little too quick. Okay, so now I'm in, and I'm going to come to my JohnnyGK page. This is a really cool page. This, if you want to customize your experience, you can set up your golf course filters. You can put all, like, let's just say you're a management company. You can just put all your management company as your favorites or your sister courses or something like that. And you're going to get a filtered experience here, which is just going to show you the latest reviews of the courses that you have picked as your favorites. You got your, then you can kind of go through this, and instead of having to dig around all the time, you come here, you flash into this page, you check it out for about 5 minutes, you log off. It's completely up to you. Another really neat thing is that you can go ahead and what we call our GK gurus. I'll get into this just as brief as I can, but basically a GK guru is somebody that has posted a lot of reviews, a lot of informative reviews, and that I have invited to be a part of a select group of Greenskeeper members that I appreciate the most, and that we will literally go out to golf courses, your facilities, to, if you want to arrange something where we show up and the course is in really nice shape, you want to put your best foot forward, because our goal is to share great golf experiences. Remember what I said about the positive reviews and the negative, how people pay much more attention to positive. You're putting on a great experience. Greenskeeper is a way to authentically communicate what, to show off what you're doing in an authentic way, because they're going to come out there and they're going to write, tell it like it is. And if telling it like it is a fantastic experience, you're going to see a lot of attention and exposure and positive branding that's going to result from that. But that's our GK Guru group. But neat thing is that people can go ahead and you can have a page of just your gurus, right? And the gurus that you're networking with, and you can just read their reviews. So there's so much ways to filter here. Pick people that you want to follow on the platform for reviews. Pick the courses you want to follow and pay more attention to. You have your buddy lists and all different other kind of things here. And this is really just as it relates to the golf course content. There's another thing I want to show you as it relates to golf course content, and that's our top 25 page. So our top 25 page is ratings, okay? Playing condition ratings is what determines because the playing conditions of the golf course really are the most important components here of making a golf decision. Even though Posse Tiempo really expensive, most people just don't think it's worth the green fee. But guess what? It's immaculate, and there's a lot of golfers that could care less about worth the green fee, and they just want great customer service and immaculate conditions. So you really get to show everything. This is a really cool rating system in that what you're doing here is you can drill down. Like, let's say I'm like, well, I want to play in LA County, but I also play in San Bernardino County. And I can click that, I can view the ratings, and I can see here what the 4-month average is. And we have private courses listed here as well, but you can kind of see when it was last rated and what the ratings are just going down the list here. And you can see it over a 4-month period, or you can see it over a 12-month period. 12-month period is important for people that are planning their golf. That are coming from out of town. Remember all those members that I showed you in that map that comes from all these different states and stuff? They're more interested in the 12-month because they would be like, well, overall, what kind of experience is this course providing? And it's from these 12-month ratings that we come up with our year-end awards that we release at the beginning of the year. to golf courses in our database, specifically Southern California and California, that are 100% user-based on what the ratings are and what the reviews are. So anyway, this is the rating system. This is there's a lot of different ways you can view these ratings, and you can see it's everywhere, right? If you want to go out, because these are all the areas that we actually cover, but we put most of our focus here on Southern California because this is where our community is. Other than that, here's our events page, which I talked a little bit about our events, but we really have a lot of fun on the platform. I'd like to reopen this up to any more questions that you have, because I think I've pretty much covered the nuts and bolts here of Greenskeeper. Oh, there's one more thing I really want to show you here is this Course Finder. So one of the really cool things about Course Finder, especially during this time of year when you're doing maintenance, and I really want to explain the maintenance alerts too, because when I first launched Greenskeeper back in 2002, golf courses weren't happy with me posting maintenance alerts by and large. They weren't happy. They thought that it was hurting their business, that it was just, but the truth is, when you post all the maintenance alerts, you're really providing an incredible service here. So let's just say I do a search here. Actually, I should kind of walk you through this, but first we're just going to do a search here to give you an example of maintenance. Let's say I just want to go in Los Angeles. I'm going to click this search. It's going to pull up a really cool map. Okay. So with this map, I'm going to be able to see, and I can even expand this map. So basically, I'm seeing here where I might want to play. Like, let's say I want to play Sky Links. Well, I see that there's a major maintenance alert here. Maybe I want to avoid Sky Links, but guess what? I think I'm going to go over and play, say, one of these other, okay, maybe I want to play Navy Golf Course instead. That's in my drive range. Or maybe I want to play Recreation Park. It's a minor alert. That doesn't bother me much. But see, it gives you a really quick idea of where I can map out where I want to play. And I'm just going to play these yellow and greens, and I'm just going to wait on these reds. When these yellow and greens go red, then I'm going to head back at the El Dorado Park, or I'm going to head over to Sky Links. It really helps golfers quickly decide where they want to play and plan out their golf for the rest of the month. Let's just go ahead and make that a little smaller. Now, another neat thing about this search, and I like to use the Greenfield location scorecard searches. Let's just say, I don't want to play a hard golf course in LA. I want to play easier courses. So I'm going to go ahead. I want to just put a slope rating of, let's say, 105 to 115, right? And, so that's rating. Whoops. So you can go ahead and do these kind of searches as well. And then I can just pull this up, or if it's a yardage and something, I'm going to see all the courses that are easier, or I can do the exact opposite. I want to play a challenging course. I can go ahead, modify this, because we have all the courses in our database, and we do a really good job at keeping them updated and making sure they're in alignment with the USGA. In fact, one of the biggest searches on Greenskeeper is scorecard searches from Google. And but anyway, so these are the different ways that golfers use Greenskeeper and find it so valuable. We have other things called our score tracker, which is not a USGA, slope and rating thing, but it helps people track their games. This is going to be a little embarrassing, but anyway, I'm going to click my score tracker. I don't play as much golf as you might think, and I'm not as good a golfer as I used to be. But when I pull up my score tracker, it gives me sort of an an index that's sort of around thing. Now, I have a sanction index. We're big supporters of the SCGA. We have a nice SCGA club, but I get a so this is just anyway. These are the rounds I've played, and it gives me an idea of my game. I can break my game down even more. I can look at my hole-by-hole stats. I can look at my course stats. And this used to be probably the most popular aspect of Greenskeeper in the early days, before people were putting out software to really help people track their games. And now everything's on apps and stuff, and it really doesn't get as much attention as it used to be. But you can kind of see the strength of my game here. Yeah, I'm pretty good off the tee, not as good hitting the greens, okay out of the bunker. I putt all right, but anyway, so that's just sort of the fun things that golfers find value about Greenskeeper. And now, once again, I'll just open it up to any questions if anybody has any. We can wrap this up, or I can go on for as long as you want. So, John, you got any more questions?
No, John, thank you very much for the in-depth presentation. Phenomenal, really. And thanks for the walkthrough, greenskeeper.org. There are no other questions on the chat box, so I think we can probably wrap it up at 8:54. So, John, on behalf of the Education Committee for the Southern California PGA, thanks for taking the time and coming on the webcast and sharing your expertise and for walking us through greenskeeper.org. Truly a very impactful social media site, specifically in Southern California. So we're grateful that you took the time to come on the webcast. For those of you that, go ahead.
I really appreciate everything. I know you do a YouTube channel as well. You're going to post this on YouTube. I will be checking that YouTube video for comments and things. If anybody wants to, go look at the YouTube thing and see if there's a certain aspect they want to learn more about Greenskeeper on, feel free to make a comment on your channel. I will reply. Again, it's just such a great honor. Something there's so much more we can talk about, but I think I've covered all the time here. I'm just so grateful that you brought me onto this show so that I could just communicate my passion and love for this game to those that matter most, to the avid golfers or the professionals. You guys are the ground level. You're so significant to this game, and you're very, very appreciated.
Well, thank you, John. Thank you very much. And for everybody joining the Catalyst webinar this morning, you will get 1 MSR credit for being on the live webcast. For those that are viewing this after the fact, through the SCPGA website under the education dropdown, there will be a 10-question quiz requirement. A score of 70% or higher will earn 1 MSR credit for going through the Catalyst after the fact through the YouTube recording. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you soon. Take care, John.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.